The Green Bay Packers are currently one of the hottest teams in the league, and that's in major part thanks to their starting quarterback, Jordan Love, who's performing admirably under extreme pressure. Most recently, he stunned the reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Could the Packers really have another superstar on their hands at football's most crucial position? There might not be a position in all of North American sports that comes with as much prestige as the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. The team has seemingly had legends at the helm throughout their entire existence. Back in the 1960s, Bart Starr cemented himself as one of the most historical figures in the NFL by winning the first 2 Super Bowls in history. But more recently, the team has been led by 2 players, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre played his first season as a starter in 1992 and became one of the most beloved stars in sports. He was a vocal leader, a gunslinger, and a fearless winner. But despite having Favre on the roster and still performing like a star quarterback, the Packers used a first-round pick to select Aaron Rodgers in the 2005 draft. The selection raised eyebrows as analysts questioned their commitment to Favre moving forward, and it turned out that those analysts were right. Favre helped groom Rodgers for 3 seasons while he served as a backup, and eventually the Packers made the bold decision to trade Favre to the New York Jets and hand the starting job to Aaron Rodgers. It was a bit of a messy divorce because Favre was still a star in the league and a cultural icon in Green Bay, but it turned out to be the right move. Favre enjoyed a few more solid seasons in the NFL, but Aaron Rodgers quickly proved that he was even better than his mentor. He accumulated 4 MVP trophies and a Super Bowl title as the team's starter. But history repeated itself in 2020 when the Packers used their first-round pick on a young quarterback named Jordan Love with their 26th overall pick in the first round, 15 years after they selected Rodgers with the 24th overall selection. As expected, media and analysts began to question the team's commitment to Aaron Rodgers, though the organization attempted to keep the noise under wraps. But lo and behold, after being groomed in the backup role for 2 seasons, the Packers and Rodgers parted ways. This time, it was Rodgers who ultimately made the decision to leave. But coincidentally, he chose to sign with the New York Jets, the same team that the Packers traded Favre to. The parallels were too glaring to be ignored, which put Jordan Love in a precarious position. While most young quarterbacks are under pressure to perform, not many have to perform in the shadows of legends like Favre and Rodgers. The Packers have enjoyed stability at the position for the past 30 years. Actually, forget stability, the team has watched 2 of the all-time greats perform miracles. So Jordan Love had some mighty shoes to fill and massive expectations. And in his first 2 starts of the season, Love put up outstanding performances. He threw for close to 400 yards with 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. Fans were already celebrating the fact that they had a new legend on their hands. But the next several weeks posed some challenges for the young quarterback. He struggled to gain chemistry with his young receiving core and began racking up losses and interceptions. In Week 5, he threw 3 interceptions and no touchdown passes in a loss to the Raiders. Ups and downs are typical of young quarterbacks, but Packers fans have less tolerance than other fan bases due to their storied history. However, Love has fought back and is now looking like the star that the team thought they were getting when they drafted him in the first round. In his last 3 weeks, Love has outdueled star quarterbacks like Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes with phenomenal play. During the stretch, he's thrown 8 touchdown passes and no interceptions. I don't know what they're feeding him in Green Bay, but clearly they could use some of it in Chicago right now, and Love is doing it in his own unique way. Hate him or love him, Favre and Rodgers were both extroverted leaders with larger-than-life personas. They were both outspoken and craved media attention. Love, on the other hand, is a little bit more quiet about how he goes about his business. He doesn't love media attention, but his team loves him. And right now, they're raving about his play. One of his team's wideouts had this to say about his quarterback's recent play. The only word I can think of is extraordinary. I think his comfortability, his confidence, and just his ability to make plays, we're just seeing more and more every single week. We knew he was special when he first got the job, and we saw what he was about, but he's continued to show the world. We're excited for him. And believe it or not, after 12 weeks, his numbers are comparable to Aaron Rodgers' first season as a starter in Green Bay. In 2007, through his first 12 games, Rodgers was 257 of 404 passing, which adds up to a completion percentage of 63.6. He threw for 2,897 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, with a quarterback rating of 91.2. In 2007, the Packers had a 5-7 record through 12 games. Compare that to Love. Following Love's game against the Chiefs, the Packers quarterback has completed 250 of 408 throws, giving him a completion percentage of 61.3%, and he's accumulated 2,866 yards, 22 touchdowns versus 10 interceptions, and has a 90.2 rating, almost identical to Rodgers' numbers at this point in his career. Not only that, but the Packers currently have a 6-6 record, and dare I say, are in playoff contention? A few weeks ago, playoffs looked like a long shot for Green Bay, but all of a sudden they look like they have a very realistic shot at a wild card spot. The team has 5 games remaining on the schedule, and none of them are against a team that currently holds a winning record. Their next game is up against the 4-8 Giants on Monday Night Football, a team that has no chance at a playoff spot and is already eyeing the draft lottery. Then they have a home game against Tampa Bay before heading to Carolina to play the league's worst team in Week 16. There's a high chance that their Week 17 matchup against Minnesota will have serious playoff implications. And their final game of the season is at home against the Bears. We doubt that the Packers will catch the Lions to win the division, but they have a solid chance at earning a wild card playoff berth 5 weeks from now. Just for comparison's sake, Rodgers didn't make the playoffs until his second season as a starter. We're not saying that Jordan Love is going to develop into a league MVP or anything, but considering the circumstances, Packers fans should be thrilled with his recent performance, because it looks like they very well could have another star in the ranks. But what do you guys think? Will Jordan Love develop into a star? Will the Packers make the playoffs this season? Or are we getting a little too excited a little too early? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports news and insights. Thanks for watching. See you next time.